All right, LDWMAC, boy. Let's talk about this here. Okay, y'all. Most YouTube channels, the majority of them, they're not going to talk about this because, they want to hold on to their subscriber counts. They ain't going to talk about it. But the coach will. Now, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, there is a culture, a predatory culture in MMA. It is. There's a predatory culture in MMA when you go to these gyms for young girls. Okay, this guy, he got accused of, and some girl came forward that he was messing with this 13-year-old girl. He was fondling the girl, kissing her, in her private areas, kissing her on the lips. And pretty much if he doing all that, he pretty much done knocked it down as well, Now, here's the thing, man. Guys like this, well, this is Haley Cowan's husband. Y'all know Haley Cowan, the MMA fighter. And I started thinking, man, so his wife she bad. She nice looking. I don't go for little petite women like this. I like the big, tall Amazon women. But I tell you what, if I was into petite women, this is definitely one that I'd be hanging with. Definitely. This is definitely one I'd be hanging with. I mean, she's an attractive woman. And, I sit here and I'm trying to understand, how in the hell, are you serious? How in the hell you cheating on her? With some younger? Well, maybe they hadn't met yet. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, with these type of guys, these predators, I'm going to tell you habits, okay? See, that's not the first victim that he's been with, okay? If this girl came out 8 years ago, this was from 8 years ago, and she came out and finally, she want to do something about it. Okay, now some of you saying, well, why is she just coming out now? I tell you this, okay? If she was a full-fledged adult, I'd be saying, yeah, why she wait 8 years? But she was a 13-year-old kid, okay? And guys, when have y'all known teenagers, 13-year-old kids to make good decisions? When? These kids don't even know how to wash their ass real good. And you want them to make a good decision? You actually want them to think about making good decisions? Newsflash. 13-year-olds and 13-year-old girls, they do not make great decisions. Not all the time. And most of the time, the decisions they make are bad. They don't have any thought to it. 13-year-olds don't have the capacity to even understand consequences until they get into a consequence, until they're actually in trouble. But before they even in any trouble, they think they ain't gonna get caught. Okay, they believe in their mind they're not gonna get caught. And if they get caught, then that's when they realize, oh, shoot. Damn, I'm in trouble, okay? But that's because they're kids. That's because they don't have the propensity to just sit and think, well, hey, if I do this, I might get this. And what's the fascination with these guys and these kids? Guys, these kids, they don't wash well. I mean, I'm just being honest. Kids, they don't wash well. It's like, what do you want? What do you think a 13-year-old woman, a little girl, sorry, they ain't no woman. A 13-year-old girl, what do you think she gonna do for you? The reason why guys like this, they go for these little kids, these 13-year-olds, because you can manipulate them. They kind of at that age where they finding the opposite sex attractive. They're at that age, but they still just stupid. They still dumb to just believe what somebody say. And see, guys, you got to understand the nature of a fighter. A lot of fighters, they don't get into fighting because their mom and dad just bring them to a gym. That's not how a lot of fighters get into the sport. A lot of these fighters, they come into these gyms with mental problems, baggage, things that's going on in their house that they come to fight it. And their parents, some of these are very troubled kids, so their parents will bring them into fighting gyms to help them get rid of some of their anger. A lot of these young girls, they come in these gyms, they angry. They got a lot of emotional abuse. I mean, these girls, they're very emotionally scarred. Well, in comes a coach. In comes a coach who, they act like they care. But all along, they're preying on your daughter or some little girl. They act like they care. They seem to always understand your problems and what you're going through. They seem to understand why you're so angry. And so these young girls, they begin to get comfortable with these MMA coaches. They get comfortable. And then, next thing you know, they start, spending more time together in these gyms. I'm telling you how it go down. They start spending more time together at these gyms together. Okay, then they start, conveniently having these one-on-one sessions. They start conveniently doing a bunch of stuff because they know the kid's angry. They know the parents pretty much don't have a lot of control over the kids. Okay, they know. I'm sorry. It's just that's the culture of MMA, and they prey on these vulnerable girls. They're vulnerable. These girls, they don't know that their life. They got so much stuff going on in their life, baggage that they don't know how to resolve. And many of these fighters that come to the gym, they need mental help. They need a lot of mental help. But these parents, they leave these girls in the care of these coaches, and these coaches, they end up, taking advantage of their daughters. And that's what guys do. Guys, this is not, this happened in 2015. Guys, it's still going on right now. It's gyms I can walk into, and I can't prove it, but I can guarantee you that it's gyms I can walk into right now that I can tell which coaches, are messing around with these 15, 16-year-old little girls. I can tell. Because the way the little girls be all up in these coaches' faces, man, following them around everywhere. And I was telling my girl, I said, because we go to gyms sometimes, and we go to gyms to try to see if we can try to pick up fighters and sponsor them, we try to sponsor a lot of, young fighters, female fighters. Y'all know, like, when I used to do my live streams, and I'm going to bring those back, and I put some of the fighters up on the screen, we go to gyms and try to sponsor fighters, up-and-coming fighters that, they're trying to, they need something. They need some kind of sponsorship. They need something to help them out. And so we go there and do that. And I was telling my girl, I said, look, I guarantee that those two messing with each other. I guarantee they got a relationship. Like, you can literally tell. But that's the culture in MMA gyms. You find me an MMA gym, and you see teenage girls in there, and I guarantee at least one of those girls is messing with the coach. Or one of the coaches. Okay? Because MMA gyms it's a breeding ground for predatory behavior. It's a breeding ground. You got to understand, too, that when these coaches are training these young girls, a lot of the coaches, they're in jiu-jitsu holes, They're, like putting them in clinches. And, in jiu-jitsu, when you're rolling with somebody, you're very, very close to that. You're very close to them. Okay? And sometimes, yes, your private parts do. They kind of roll around. You don't think about it in the heat of the moment. But for a predator, that's what they're thinking about. And so, you have all that contact. Then you telling this little girl, hey, I care about you. I'm sorry your parents don't understand you. See, they get into them conversations. The next thing you know, they secretly behind the parents' back having a relationship. They're having a relationship that they shouldn't be having. Guys, this is a culture in mixed martial arts. And it's been going on for a long time. And it's still going on now in 2024. Still going on. But what happens? These young girls, they don't say anything about it until later. Because later they realize that they're a victim. These 13, 14-year-old girls, they don't realize until they're, older that I was a victim. They don't get it. Because when they're young, they just think they see somebody who care about them. They see somebody who loved them, who wants to be a part of their life. And, and I don't even know why these young girls, they fall for the okie doke every time. I'm going to leave my wife for you. He's not going to leave his wife for some teenage girl. He's not going to do that. The man don't want to pay alimony paying him. And if he got kids, he damn sure don't want to pay child support. Okay, that's just the way that is. No man wants to pay child support. I'm sorry. No man wants to pay child support for the death trap between your legs. He ain't going to do it. Okay? I mean, you can get that anywhere. The thing of it is, though, is not the sex that's drawing these men. It's the fact that they can manipulate these young girls. And they can tell these young girls what they want. And they's young girls, they'll believe it. Because they're young. Their brains ain't even formed completely at that age. So they can't even cognitively, make a great decision. Seriously, guys, what 13, 14-year-old consistently make great decisions? They always fucking up something. But that's just how that is. That's just the way that is. They always screwing up something. And they're not going to make a good decision. A lot of times, moreover, they have to be taught. So they're sitting here thinking that this grown man, he really loves me. And all the while, he using you. Okay? He's using you. This guy look like a creep. I don't understand. How could you, what would make you cheat on this? What would make you do it? I mean, I can go on the Patreon. I can really, boy, I can expound. I'm talking about, I can expound on this so heavy and so deep, it'll blow y'all mind. But what would make him cheat on this? I mean, I can tell you. See, with a grown woman, you're not going to be able to like run the game. You're not going to be able to convince them or try to control them. With these young girls, you can control them. And the young girls are going to go along with it because young girls or young teenagers, period, they want structure. Kids want structure. They're not going to tell you that they want structure, but that's what they want. And kids, they appreciate structure. So when you telling them what to do, that's what they used to. They're used to people telling them what to do. Okay? But see, they don't want to hear it from their parents because they feel like their parents trying to tell them that they can't do something. But you got this grown man who telling you, oh, I love you. I understand. I don't know why your parents like that. You know, your parents ought to treat you more like an adult. And so it appears that this grown person really respects you. It appears that this grown man really understands your trouble that you go through. See, it appears that they get it. But they just using that girl. They're using these young girls. They're using them for sex, okay? But that's not the only thing. These older guys, they get a kick. They get a high off of being able to say, you know what? I can still pull a young girl. They still find me attractive. See, they still hadn't grown up from their middle school and their high school age. They ain't grown up yet. In their mind, they still think that they can relate to the damn kids. They still think that they understand and they can be on that level. They still believe that. They believe that crap. But any real grown man know that you have nothing in common with a damn 13-year-old. What y'all got in common? I coach female athletes. You better be damn skippy that Coach Shelton Harrison ain't finna be left alone, or I'm not finna put myself in those situations. Coach Shelton Harrison ain't finna do that. Nah, I like my paper way too much more than getting caught up in a damn scandal. That's just what it is. But this guy, they thrive on control. They thrive on control. That's what they thrive on. They thrive on just that manipulation. See, they want to manipulate this young girl into doing whatever they say. And anytime they say it. I mean, y'all heard about the young little 15-year-old that ran away with the damn 50-year-old teacher. And you kind of look at him and look at her and you're like, damn, why she run away with him? Like, it don't see. But these young girls, they have the propensity to see past what a person look like. And they're looking at what you can do for them and how they feel. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that really, really young teenage girls, they look at how they feel and how you're making them feel. And that's where the manipulation starts. See, they slowly begin to put you against your parents. And I'm talking to you young girls. If you're watching this video, they slowly put you against your parents. They slowly try to, break down all the morals that your parents tried to teach you. They slowly break that down. Then they start telling you that you're special. That, you understand them and, nobody's ever made them feel this way. They start telling you that the age don't matter. They tell you all this because slowly they're breaking you down, manipulating you, and they're going to turn you against your parents. And eventually their long-term goal is to keep you away from your parents. And moreover, in some cases, they're going to wait it out till you become legal to try to run off with you if they're not married with kids. Now, if they're married with kids, they're not leaving their wife for you. All you young girls that you sitting around listening to some grown man tell you he about to leave his wife when they separated, he's not leaving his wife. Okay? You ever heard the term cheaper to keep her? He not leaving her. Okay? Get that through your little head now. I don't care how much you drop the panties, he's not leaving his wife. End of story. Take it or leave it. But guys like this, they need their ass whooped. Like, not moreover, if it was my daughter, I'd just tell you straight up and down, okay? You don't have to worry about the police trying to arrest them. That's all I'm going to say. You take that however you want to take it. You take it however you want to take it. And you think, and whatever you imagine, that's what's going to happen. The police wouldn't have to come find this dude. They wouldn't have to come get him. There'd be no need to. If it was my daughter. I can't even understand how life for me, how parents can even trust their kids around these MMA coaches. I don't know how they do it, y'all. Like, how the hell can you be in an MMA gym and you trust these coaches with your kids? Like, nah. Anytime my daughter did any sports, I ain't leave. I sat there. Now, I didn't get involved. I didn't say nothing. I let the coach coach, you know? If it's a sport I ain't know nothing about, I said nothing. I let that coach do his or her job. But I was there for every training session. I didn't get involved. I kept my distance, but I was there. And that's just how it is. Okay, that's how it is. I don't understand. These parents, they trust these coaches with their daughters, and these coaches, they're doing the unthinkable. Guys, it's an elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is there. But this is something that people don't want to talk about. It's a predatory problem in women's MMA. They're predators in these gyms, and they're preying on these girls, these young ones. They got their mental problems. You know, these girls, they got, low self-esteem. They don't think they look good. And you don't think that some of these guys, they're looking at what they see that's good in them, and they tell them, oh, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. They start trying to build their confidence up so they can prey on them. These girls they got low self-image, low self-esteem. They socially awkward. They usually quiet to themselves. That's a breeding ground for predatory behavior. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. And then you have people that defend this guy. Like, I remember I made a video similar to this, and I had somebody in the comment section. Gotta kid y'all not talking about, well, the age of consent is 16, and they're trying to lower the age of consent. And in biblical times, it was understand that, that grown men and 12-year-olds would, like, somebody was trying to rationalize this shit. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, whoever live in this guy's neighborhood, I swear, man, whoever, I wish some of these dudes making these comments, I wish I can find them. I wish I can find some of these guys and expose the hell out of them. But, you know what? This gonna go to the back burner. They don't talk about this. Tell you what, though, had this would have been John Jones, had somebody would have made an allegation about John Jones, it'd have been everywhere. Every MMA channel, Chael Sonnen, all of them, they be talking about this. If it was John Jones, Aljamain Sterling, okay? If it was Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, it'd be front page news. But it's not. It's not them. It's this guy. And of course, he's probably gonna get a pass.